Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. A lot of people have been saying, where's Daniel Dubois? Where's he gone? Is he behind the sofa? Is he hiding behind the curtains? Where is he? Well, it's a question worth asking, I suppose, yeah. Where is he? I'd like to know. He very much radio silence, which of course adds to the conspiracy theories. But to be honest with you, the one fighter that I've been thinking of, I think, where the hell is he? Where's he gone? You know, I like this guy. Why isn't he fighting? Time's not on his side. Vasyl Lomachenko. Where is he? That's the one who's been at the forefront of my mind, because Lomachenko, I mean, I'm a massive Lomachenko fan. I have been ever since I first saw him. I saw him in the amateurs, bits and pieces in the amateurs. I don't follow the amateur game a great deal. But, you know, as you know, he turned pro in I think it was a 10-rounder, and then in his second fight, he had a fight for the vacant WBO featherweight belt. Orlando Salido outpointed him on a split decision, maybe just a little bit too soon, a little bit more seasoning needed in the pro game. And then he eventually, in his third fight, he was knocking on a bit then. This was back in 2014. He beat Gary Russell Jr. On a majority decision. And Russell Jr. would go on to be a world champion himself. It's one of those PBC guys who fought, every time Halley's Comet came around. That's what it seemed like. And then, he made a couple of defences, WBO featherweight title, made some defences, was making people quit left, right and centre, was knocking out people like, he moved up and fought Roman Martinez, who was a 3-time WBO super feather champ, knocked him out in 5. Then he made Nicholas Waters quit. Jason Sosa was another one. And then he moved up to lightweight. Fought, who did he fight? I can't remember. Was it Pedraza he fought for the lightweight title? It was another WBO belt. I know that to start with. I know he fought Anthony Crolla, knocked him out in 4. And then he went the distance with Luke Campbell. But he picked up the WBC and WBO belts. And then he lost. Did he have the WBA? I don't remember offhand. But he ended up losing to Teofimo Lopez. That was in 2020. And then we had this sort of, not a great deal of fights happening. I mean, he had 2 fights in 2021. But if you look at his recent, not really recent, is it? But say the last 2.5 years, he's fought once in 2022, which was against, was it Ortiz? Was it Jermaine Ortiz? I can't remember. I think that was 2022. 2023 was Devin Haney, wasn't it? Because he lost that, a 12-round decision for all the belts. And then he beat Kambosos last year in May for the IBF belt, which was vacant at the time. So even though he didn't quite reach the summit regarding being undisputed against Haney, nevertheless, he still seemed to have plenty left, and a lot of people felt that he beat Haney. There was some controversy regarding that decision, or so-called controversy. Lopez, he claimed, when he lost to Lopez in 2020, he claimed he had a bad shoulder. But at 37, you think, where is he? What does he want to do? Now, the IBF, he holds the IBF belt, Loma does. But the IBF are normally very, very strict when it comes to their mandatories, and when it comes to their insisting that people honour their mandatories and do it quickly. It's not just about honouring the mandatories. It's about, we want you to do this by this time, and you better have a bloody good reason if you don't. And I don't mind that attitude. I wish more of the ruling body would do that. But the IBF are strangely silent on Lomachenko. And I don't really, as big a fan as I am of Lomachenko, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I think it's really quite, it's almost verging on scandalous, really, that they've allowed him to sit things out. Now, I know there are things going on in his home country, and you can say, all right, might cut him a bit of slack for that, but Usyk's Ukrainian, and look at him. Look how busy he's been. Mopped up at heavyweight in 4 years, 3-4 years, So I want to see Lomachenko back if he still wants to fight, because that is that is a question, I think, that hangs over him. Does he still want to be a fighter, Lomachenko? Now, there's constant talk of him facing, what about Tank Davis? I mean, Tank Davis, I don't think he would fight Lomachenko. He doesn't. Anyone who can offer any kind of serious threat is not someone that Tank Davis is going to face. And doesn't he have unfinished business after his draw? Doesn't he want a rematch there to try and rectify, to erase that draw that he had? It seems to me that Tank Davis has always been about making money, like a lot of the PBC fighters, way, way, way over building a legacy. Whereas Lomachenko, in only 21 fights, 18 wins, 12 KOs, 3 defeats, all on points. In only 21 fights, he's been a 3-weight world champ and has built a legacy. He's beaten some good men, some very good men. And yeah, okay, losing to Haney controversially, that was a unanimous decision as well. Although the cards were close, two of them, I think, was it 115, 113, 115, 112, or something like that. The Lopez fight, you can say, well, yeah, injured shoulder, but that's not Tio's fault. I mean, I would never say that, George Kambosos' victory over Lopez is diminished because Lopez was unwell or whatever excuse he's got. I don't care. If you get in that ring, I don't care. You get in that ring, you fight. Doesn't matter what condition you're in. Once that opening bell goes, you chose to be there. Okay. Likewise, if Loma got in the ring with a damaged shoulder against Lopez, so what? Lopez won that fight. Okay. So I think that Lomachenko has built, considering he turned pro in 2013, I think it was. He had one fight in 2013. Won his first title in 2014 in only his third fight, and then probably should have maybe tried to unify at super feather, because I've always felt as a lightweight he's a bit on the small side and still looks a bit on the small side, but he's so good when he's at his best that he's been able to stand most lightweights on their head. It's just that Haney, who's now at 140 and could probably easily carry 147, and Tio, who's certainly 140, again, will probably end up at 147. They were just a bit too big for him. So I think his legacy might have suffered a little bit in terms of fights won and so on, because he just kind of jumped up one weight division too many. Maybe he thought that being slightly smaller with his excellent footwork, he'd be able to sort of bewilder the naturally bigger men with speed. And for the most part, he's done that. I mean, like I say, he kept making people quit. They were calling him, was it Lomachenko, whatever they were calling him. I mean, Gamelo Rigondeaux was too small. I mean, he's really a super bantam, too small to fight Loma, but he quit after 6 rounds. Mariega was another one, wasn't he? Jason Sosa quit. They were all quitting. They were like, oh my God, this guy's just too good. I don't know what to do. But if Loma at 37 is to have like a last hurrah, say another year or two, 18 months, 2 years, building on this already considerable legacy, we've got to see some action. And to be honest, I think the IBF should have taken that belt off him. Well, it's getting to that point. It's been 10 months and he hasn't fought, and yet he's still got the belt. I don't like anyone who ties up the belts. I don't agree with that at all. So I don't know. What do you think? Leave your opinions below and I'll have a read of them. And yeah, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, spread the word about Joe Son of Boxing. I always say that, don't I? But I mean it. Thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to reading what you've got to say. All right. Bye for now.